Because so often business owners think that 10 minutes is far too short to even matter, with that negative thought of, well, I can't really do anything useful in 10 minutes. Or they tell themselves they need a whole morning free, a fresh notebook, total silence, and somehow the perfect mood before they can do anything productive for their business. But actually, 10 well focused minutes when you know exactly what to do and you put the time into the right activity can completely change how you feel and the results you can achieve in your business. Welcome to What's That Got to Do with Marketing, where we start with a story you did not see coming. It might be fun, could be funny, or even a little bit frantic. But in the end, it will all make sense, leaving you with a takeaway, a to-do, or a transformational way forward. And I'm your host, Victoria. And you, my friend, are here for unlikely lessons and unforgettable marketing advice, just for small B2B expert-led business owners. Let's get into it. This episode is called 10-Minute Marketing. I went with my sister to a place called Wild Sauna, and I think the name explains it quite well. It was absolutely lovely. It was just after 5 p.m. It was starting to get dark, and that pathway to the sauna was lit by twinkly fairy lights, and that kind of thing gets me every single time. It's in a really beautiful setting. It's a calm atmosphere, proper switch off time. So in the sauna, I went to start that relaxation. It's hot, but it's relaxing. A nice little chat amongst us, myself and the other three ladies in there, as well as my sister. A bit of laughter, but in the main, pretty civilized. And then came the part when you had to get into an 8-degree cold bath. Now, I knew this was part of the experience when my sister booked us in, but knowing something is coming and then actually doing it, i.e., lowering yourself into bloody cold water, are two very different things, because there's that moment standing there looking at it where every sensible part of your brain starts negotiating. You start thinking, well, it's cold enough out here in the open air. Surely I do not need to get into that cold bath. This is enough to cool me down. And you're thinking, do I really need to go in all the way? And you're thinking, would one leg count? And then you're thinking, can I just splash my arms and say I did it? But then I started lowering myself in very slowly, because apparently my body needs time to process the fact that I'm voluntarily doing something completely ridiculous. And the first feeling is absolute shock. It caught my breath. Everything kind of tightens up and your brain is screaming, absolutely not. Get out immediately. Who suggested this? Why are we here? But then something kind of shifted. I actually breathed and I got out of that fight or flight mode and just stayed still and realized that actually I'm okay. And after a few seconds, a feeling of exhilaration, really, like your whole system suddenly just wakes up, even to the point where you're able to admire the amazing surroundings in the dusk and the bird of prey that was circling in the sky. But of course, there comes that point when enough is a bloody enough and that I'm not that zen. So out I popped, quick drink of water, and back into the sauna to warm up and get all sweaty again. Until, of course, I'm too hot. And then it's time to get out and cold plunge once again. And the second time hits differently. It's still cold. It's still a little bit dramatic, let me tell you, but it's not as bad. And by the third round, you almost want that feeling again, that like sharp reset, that sudden energy that it gives you, that clear head. And it's a great feeling when you're driving home, feeling ridiculously pleased with yourself for surviving something that felt almost completely unnecessary about an hour earlier. Now, why am I actually telling you this? And what has it got to do with marketing? Well, this is exactly what 10 minutes of focused marketing can feel like. Focused, energizing, rewarding. Because so often business owners think that 10 minutes is far too short of a time to even matter, with the negative thoughts of, well, I can't do anything useful in just 10 minutes. Or they tell themselves that they need a whole morning free, a fresh notebook, total silence, and somehow the perfect mood before they can actually do anything productive for their business. But actually, 10 well focused minutes when you know exactly what to do and you put the time into the right activity can completely change how you feel and the results you're able to achieve in your business. Those 10 minutes, when they're all strung together, really do add up. Little bite sized chunks. It gives you momentum, it gives you clarity, it gives you that little lift of just knowing that you've moved something forward. And honestly, there are not many more productive 10-minute windows than one where you're fully focused on an activity that directly supports the building of your business. Not just random business where we're fiddling around with paperwork on our diary, not rearranging things on your desk, actual focused attention. And the brilliant thing is, they often remove that emotional barrier too, because the hardest bit is usually just getting started, like the cold plunge. It's that stepping into it that actually feels dramatic. But once you're in and you're actually doing it, afterwards you feel far better than you expected you would. So create 10 minutes today. And I'm going to give you some things now that are genuinely worth doing in your 10 minutes. So get ready for it, because here comes number one. I want you, as your number one, to send one message to somebody that you already know. It could be someone perhaps you have not spoken to in quite a while. No pitch, no awkward sales angle, just reconnect with them. A simple message like this often opens up a conversation far more naturally than you might expect. So just start with this. For example, hi, I just thought of you. That's a really good starting point. Fill in the blanks after that. Hi, I just thought of you because. Give yourself a good reason to connect and move forward with it. Okay, let's go on to number two. So number two is to go into LinkedIn and leave 3 proper comments. Not just, oh, great post, not a clap emoji, a proper thought, a useful opinion. Something that shows people how you think and why you're an authority and a leader in what you do. Make it more than 15 words. That's vital. Because visibility isn't just about your own content. A great place to start with this is building a relationship based on creating awareness of you on your ideal customers' posts. Okay, so on to number 3. I want you to look back at the last few inquiries or sales and ask yourself, where did they actually come from? Because when you spot what's already working, you stop wasting energy on guessing. So spend 10 minutes working out what's been working for you, and then you can plan that time out to do more of it. And while we're talking about short bursts of useful marketing, if you like the sound of this and the amazing progress that you can make in a structured, short time frame, then you are going to love Leads Club. It's my low-cost, high-impact monthly marketing membership for coaching, inspiration, action, and accountability. Simple, focused marketing activity, quick campaigns, clear ideas. Things you can realistically fit into a busy business without it taking over your life. If you want to know more, check out our show notes or head to allstarmarketingclub.com. Right, back to the list. Number 4, read your homepage like someone who has never met you before. Can they instantly tell what it is that you do? Can they instantly tell who it is you help? And can they instantly tell the transformation that you help them to make? Because remember, people don't buy products and services, they buy transformation. And I want you to look whether or not it gives them the reasons that they should keep reading. Work out what needs to change. You can do this in 10 minutes. On to number 5 now. I want you to send that follow-up you keep thinking about, but you've not sent yet to a warm lead that has stalled. Whether it's an email, a message, that little nudge. Often this is where momentum starts again. So get to it. You know who that person is or those people are. Strike up that conversation once again. Let's get that back in play. And now on to number 6. I want you to write down 3 questions that your clients regularly ask you, because that is content, that is messaging, and that is useful marketing sitting right in front of you. So I want you to start with getting one of these written up and out on social media. Get it done. Okay, let's head on to number 7. Share one small client success or lesson online. It doesn't have to be anything huge, just something useful. That's when you're showing up, where you make an impact and you're showing the outcomes that you create. Because people don't buy products and services, as I just said. They're buying the outcomes, they're buying the transformations. So use your stories as the fuel for somebody to have that reason to come and ask you about your products and services. All right, on to number 8. Tidy one sentence up on your LinkedIn profile so that it sounds stronger. I would suggest that you perhaps start with a headline. And I want you to look at whether or not you're showing what you do, who you help, and the outcomes you bring. So back to those 3 key things. Transformational wording here is key once again. All right, number 9. Ask yourself what one marketing action you have avoided this week. What have you been putting off? What have you been busying yourself with that has meant you didn't crack on and get that important task done? You are going to need to be a little bit honest with yourself here. In fact, do this one first. This is your cold plunge. Don't wait for this to be your number 9. Make this your number 1. Because this is what you're building up in your head, and it starts to feel much bigger than it actually is. And usually, once you've done it, you start to wonder why you even waited in the first place. So put this one right to the top of the pile. Okay, number 10. I want you to set a timer for 10 minutes and write down an answer to this question. What would make marketing and lead generation easier for me right now? Why? Well, because sometimes the most useful marketing action is not actually doing more. It's spotting what is making you hesitate, what's making you delay, and what is making you overcomplicate things way more than you need to. Don't just stop at one thing. Keep writing, and your unconscious mind is going to start kicking in, and it will help you out and give you the honest answers, because the ones that we come out with straight away, they're probably not the things that are really holding us back. So keep asking yourself, what else, what else, what else? And you'll start to uncover the things that truly are the things that are delaying you and stopping you from moving forward. It might be training, it might be time, it might be mindset related. Whatever it is, name it first, because naming it is going to help you to take that next step. And when you know, you'll be able to put in place all of the different remedial action that you need to put in place to make sure you move past this. Okay. So let me round up from today's episode. The power of 10 minutes. 10 minutes can wake up your business bit by bit. 10 minutes creates movement. 10 minutes can shift your mood. And 10 minutes repeated often enough can genuinely change results, which is why short bursts, just like a cold plunge, matter far more than people could ever imagine. So get your 10-minute actions lined up, tick them off one by one, look at the difference it makes. And I'll see you next time on What's That Got to Do with Marketing?